Not gonna lie, having creative block is one of the most frustrating things for creatives to go through. This past month, I feel like I couldn't pull myself out of this rut. One minute, I find myself being super productive and checking off my to-do lists, and the next, I find myself unable to create anything new and find myself feeling lazy, uninspired, and then beating myself up for not doing more. Now, when I find myself in these ruts, I observe my thoughts, study my behaviors, and I find some reoccurring patterns. And I've found that there are really 5 main reasons that we experience creative block. So today, I'll share those with you and proven methods to overcome each one. When you're stressed and anxious, you actually activate your amygdala, which is your brain's processing center for emotions, which turns on your flight or fight mode, shutting down your creative thoughts and flow. The proven methods to fix this is 1, movement. So start by channeling that energy that you have built up in your body through physical activity. It could be movements like walking, stretching, yoga, and exercising, which is gonna help reduce your cortisol levels and increase oxygen flow to your brain, which is really just gonna help improve your creativity. 2 is breath work. So try the box breathing method where you sit or stand in a comfortable position, breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for the other 4 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth for the last 4 seconds. And repeat this a few times until you feel better. Alternatively, you can also do the 4-7-8 breathing method, where you inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds. This one is gonna be better for a deeper relaxation state. And studies show that these breathing methods will actually help calm your mind, body, and regulate your nervous system. The next method is consuming adaptogens and functional beverages. Drinks like green tea and matcha actually contain L-theanine and caffeine, which increases your alpha brain waves and is linked to ease stress, increase your focus and creativity. Adaptogens like ashwagandha and lion's mane help reduce anxiety and support your stress resilience. And you can also find these in supplements or individual drinks like Magic Mind, which combines them all into this one convenient shot. Magic Mind actually has 12 specific ingredients that promote a sharper mind, lower stress, and calm your energy, including lion's mane, cordyceps, bacopa monnieri, turmeric, rhodiola rosea, ashwagandha, L-theanine, cognizin citazole, matcha, vitamins B2, B12, D3, C, and agave. But I've been taking these every single morning, and I've definitely noticed a boost in my focus and decreased stress level. I actually took one before I started filming because I have a long day ahead of me, but this tastes really good and it's got this subtle sweetness to it. But this little bottle is jam-packed with nootropics, adaptogens, antioxidants, and immunity support. If you want to try it, you can use my affiliate link in the description, and that's just really going to help support the channel. So when you're hyper-focused on perfecting every little detail and become overly critical of your work, it creates this fear of failure, that you're scared it won't be good enough, which is gonna trigger avoidance behavior, paralyzing you to even start or complete a project. So some methods to fix this is, first, you need to get out of your own head, because this one is more about shifting your mindset to overcome your fears. So first, really reframe how you interpret failure as insightful data and learning. Not that you failed or sucked. Failure should be seen as an essential stepping stone that brings you a step closer to your goals. Think about Thomas Edison's response when he was asked how it felt to fail 10,000 times when inventing the light bulb. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And that cognitive reframing really shows how we can emulate his resilience, separate the outcome from your identity, and really lean into that growth mindset. This is really what separates the successful people that thrive in life and continuously take action and move forward versus those who never get anything done and stay in their negative thought patterns. Now, if you're avoiding getting something done because you fear of messing up, then you need to build something called your failure tolerance muscle through exposure therapy. This is where you put yourself in low-stakes situations where you're bound to fail so that you can rewire your nervous system to normalize that discomfort and take action in spite of fear. And the more you do something, the more confident you'll feel about taking action and override the perfectionist tendencies. But it's really about getting the reps in. You can tell yourself you'll take action and start creating for just 5 or 10 minutes. Start a timer if it helps. Just do the action, no overthinking, no iterating, just let it flow, even if it's slow. Often we just need to take the action first, get out of our own heads, and then the creating and flow will follow. Another thing that triggers perfectionism is when we compare ourselves to others. This is what happens when we're scrolling on social media for too long and start seeing everyone everyone share their highlights and all the good things that they've done in their life. And this often makes us doubt ourselves, second guess everything, and threatens our ego, which makes us avoid working on our own stuff. So to really combat this, you really have to limit your time on how much you spend scrolling and stop spending so much time on social media. Delete the apps if you have to and detox from the instant dopamine. Or just set a limit on the apps to just 1 hour a day. Maybe you create a rule that you only will check social media if you have something to post and engage with your audience. When our brains are overstimulated with emotions and thoughts due to pressure or multitasking, our prefrontal cortex, which is significantly involved in creative thinking, becomes more rigid and less open to new ideas. So one method to fix overwhelm is called the 3-bucket system. This is where you sort your tasks into 3 buckets. The first one is called must do today. This is your most priority. The second is should do soon. And the last is can wait or delegate. But this is really going to help you see what you need to prioritize first and prevents you from feeling like all your tasks are equally urgent. Number 2 is to take mindful breaks. So every hour, just step away from your screen or the task that you've been doing and just go outside and stretch. And this is really going to help restore your focus and allow your subconscious to continue processing your ideas, which is going to help improve your task performance overall when you come back to your work. Number 3 is time blocking. So block out 60 to 90-minute time slots on your calendar for specific tasks so that you can stay on track. This will help limit your multitasking tendencies by focusing on one deep task at a time. So when we use up all our physical and emotional energy, our brain doesn't have enough fuel to create, which leaves us feeling uninspired, unmotivated, and restless due to these prolonged periods of work, which makes creating feel like a chore. It really does affect your brain's ability to make those novel connections required for creativity and just reduces dopamine. One thing you can do is to introduce novelty or new experiences in your life. Do something different and new, whether it's a different environment, activity, or medium of creating, especially if it's outside of your comfort zone. When you expose yourself to new experiences, especially in nature, it's going to help refresh your neural pathways and restore your focus. The next method is the Pomodoro technique. This is where you use a timer to schedule your work intervals in 25-minute increments with 5-minute breaks in between, and repeat these a few times throughout the day. Alternatively, you can do 90-minute increments with 15-minute breaks in between, depending on what works better for you. If it helps, you can use a physical timer like I do, which I always have on my desk, but when I have those time increments set aside for just one specific task that I can really go deep on, I get a lot more done versus spreading myself too thin and multitasking too much. You can also batch similar tasks into the same day so that you're preserving your energy and can show up better since you're not spreading yourself up too thin, and it's just really going to help reduce decision fatigue overall. Next thing is to consume healthy nutrients, hydrate, and of course get enough sleep. Eat whole foods like fruits, vegetables, omega-3s, and complex carbs because it'll help fuel your brain to sustain your focus, mood, and generate creativity. Studies show that people who ate more of these actually had a boost in their creative thinking and dopamine levels. And obviously, if you eat unhealthy junk food, it's gonna cause your blood sugar to spike and crash, which will lead you to have low energy and foggy thinking. As far as staying hydrated, our brains are made of 75% water, so being dehydrated is gonna cause fatigue, mood dips, irritability, and reduced creativity overall. A good formula on how much water you should drink is to take your weight in pounds and divide that in half, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking per day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be aiming to drink about 50 ounces of water daily. And sleep is creativity's secret weapon. The most optimal time is to consistently get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. REM sleep actually enhances creative problem solving by 40% based on this 2009 study, and is responsible for imagination, insights, and memory, which are all essential for creative breakthroughs. To improve your sleep quality, avoid using screens an hour before bed, and keep your room cool, dark, and tech-free. When we ruminate on ideas or thought patterns for too long, we actually overload our working memory with looping doubts, and that takes up mental space that is essential for creative ideation. Overthinking often leads to analysis paralysis, so try taking one small action and shift your brain from thinking to doing. If you have a big task, break it down into very small, actionable steps that will help you bring you closer to your goal. The next method is the metacognitive technique, where you step away from your thoughts, instantly observe them as patterns that are passing by, not necessarily truths. Remember, you are not your thoughts. When you detach from your thoughts and question them, it's gonna help break you out from identifying with your thoughts and those mental loops so that you can clearly think and focus on creating and ideating. Method number 3 is journaling. When you write or type out what you're overthinking about, it transfers that on a page into tangible, readable words. And once your thoughts are written out, your brain is able to see, sort, and solve them more clearly. Journaling will also help you gain more clarity on those thoughts in your head. Studies actually show that brain dumping and journaling your thoughts help clear your mental clutter and makes more room for creative flow and boosts your mental capacity. Creative block doesn't mean you're broken, it just means that something in your system needs attention. And the moment that you start addressing those root causes, creativity starts flowing again. Now, if this video helped you, please give it a like and drop a comment letting me know which part resonated the most. I'd love to hear your story or which method you're gonna try next. And if you want more tips like this on design, freelancing, and the creative process, make sure you subscribe and follow for more. And if you're curious about Magic Mind, or if you want to try it for yourself, my discount link is in the description. And make sure to use my code. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.